us. Let's talk about it. A lot of people have been asking. I'm a long-time iPhone XS Max user, and now I'm transitioning into the Samsung S10 Plus. When I say transitioning, I just moved my SIM card from this one to the S10 Plus, but both of these phones are carried with me on a daily. You know, I like to keep one Android and one Apple on me at all times. Previously, my Android was the Pixel 3 XL, but right now it's the Galaxy S10 Plus. And I couldn't be more happier. Great decision. Great decision. Let me give my opinion as an iOS user on the Galaxy S10 Plus versus the XS Max. And this one's gonna get interesting, so let's talk about it. First thing first, let's just run down what both of these items have to offer, and then I'm gonna give you my user experience perspective. Okay, first thing I wanna talk about is the weight. Galaxy S10 Plus coming in at 6.17 pounds, iPhone XS Max coming in at 7.34 pounds, and you notice the difference. Yes, it's not the biggest or hugest, but when it comes to smartphones, the things that you carry on you as a daily throughout the day, 24/7, it makes a difference, and I notice it. And the Galaxy S10 Plus, the lightness, the thinness of it is refreshing in comparison to the iPhone XS Max. Both of these are offering you IP68 water resistance, so it's an even fight there. When it comes to payment options, they both have, one has Samsung Pay, the other one has Apple Pay, both are NFC, and that's an even playing field. Apple Pay is a lot more mainstream, but Samsung Pay, I see it wherever I see Apple Pay, so it's pretty even. Now, when we come to displays, both of them are rocking the AMOLED display, but you got 6.4 inches on the Galaxy S10 Plus versus 6.5 inches on the XS Max. And honestly, the difference above all is you got full screen to screen, top to bottom, with a laser cutout for the cameras versus the infamous notch that you get on the XS Max. The Samsung display is 1440 by 3040, and then the iPhone is 1242 by 2688. And honestly, both of these displays are great. Both of these displays look nice, but let's be honest here. We're comparing Samsung to Samsung. Samsung manufactures the displays for the iPhone. Apple, they design the way that they want their display made and to look and all that and so forth, and Samsung produces them. Now, Samsung has a secret sauce when it comes to these displays, and they're not giving that out. And that secret sauce is very apparent. This AMOLED display versus this AMOLED display, there is a difference. The Samsung's is always more vibrant, brighter, more saturated, just the best display in the cell phone industry. So there's no argument there, but the iPhone XS Max has a great, awesome, beautiful display. So you can't go wrong with either one of these on displays, but there is an edge to the Samsung when it comes to the display, and that's just hands down. That's a known fact, and we can't argue that. The iPhone display can handle HDR10, while the Samsung S10 Plus display can handle HDR10 Plus. When it comes to processing, we got the Snapdragon 855 on the Samsung S10 Plus versus the A12 Bionic chip with Apple. Apple chips are renowned and they're very known, they're very well optimized, but the Snapdragon 855 paired with the One UI on the Samsung S10 Plus is giving so far a very nice, smooth experience. This One UI in combination with the Snapdragon 855, they're getting closer to this. Apple? Man. Now here's an area I want to talk about: storage between these two, and that's something that I nitpick at Apple every time. I'm going to continue to until Apple gets rid of the 64GB version. Now, when you talk about base models and what you're getting in storage, you're definitely getting a lot more with the S10 Plus. You're coming out at the base model at the $999 price with a 128GB storage, expandable, even more unfair advantage with 8GB of RAM. Now on the XS Max, you're only given 64 at the base with 4GB of RAM. That's where you starting. No expandable adage, nothing. What you get is what you got, and 64 is just unacceptable. 128, bravo Samsung for taking that move. That has been one of my biggest complaints in all smartphones. I don't think a 64GB version should exist. Even though there's some people out there who say, hey, they don't, I don't see it. Okay, I got a 256 right there, and I'm halfway through it on the XS Max, more than halfway through that. I'm using my space. I don't know what you up to doing. let's talk about cameras. I'm not gonna get deep into cameras. I'm only gonna give you the spec for spec because I have a camera comparison. You know what I'm saying? Hit the thing up here if it pops up. If it's not live yet, as soon as it go live, watch it ASAP because it's coming or it's already here. Pretty much it's the same megapixels and so forth when it comes to the main cameras, like the main wide camera, same millimeter length and everything. The only difference is the slight differences in apertures, but the biggest difference between these two, where we're really gonna hit home, is that ultra wide camera that you're being given on the S10 Plus, and I absolutely love it, and we need one from Apple. There's no more excuses, Apple. You have to put an ultra wide on your device. So, Tim Apple, get up in there and get them apples going and give us an ultra wide lens on the next iPhone. As far as video, they both are pretty much equal. 4K 60 at the max on the video end, 1080 240 at the 1080 end. They both have OIS. Now, something different in video when we're talking about the Galaxy S10 Plus is dual pixel autofocus, which is dope. Samsung has an added feature of an AI, which is the steady shot. And I mean, that speaks for itself. You got a gimbal in this body. You don't have that with the iPhone, and you'll see that in my camera comparison. So watch that ASAP. Now, when it comes to the selfie cams, we got 10 megapixel front-facing selfie camera versus a 7 megapixel on the iPhone. Like I said, the camera comparison will show you what it do on that. Let's talk about battery. Oh my goodness. We got 4,100 milliamps on the S10 Plus, and then we have 3,174 milliamp hours on the XS Max. That is a difference and you notice it. You definitely get a killer battery experience with the S10 Plus. With the iPhone, it's a decent battery experience. So the best battery experience on the iPhone XS Max is by using this Apple Smart Battery case, which I absolutely love, highly recommend. That takes this battery performance to like another level. Granted, you're getting 4,100 milliamps with the S10 Plus. We're early in it, but so far it is performing very well. Really good. I'm so happy with the 855 and its new power optimization delivery on the Android platform. Android is moving in the right direction and Samsung is capitalizing on that. So the S10 Plus takes the cake for battery power as far as its stock, but trust me, you throw that Apple Smart Battery case on your iPhone XS or XS Max and you're killing the game. Okay, so when it comes to sound, speakers, between these two, I have to give a slight edge to the iPhone. I'm not even gonna stunt. The iPhone speakers perform, I turned on the exact same song, turned them up loud. The XS Max performed very well. The Galaxy S10 Plus performed very well as well. It just, as far as personal preference, that's what this comes down to. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. Like, you get either one of these devices, you're gonna be very happy with it. How can I say this? Man, it really don't matter, man. Either one, you're getting great stereo speaker sound. The viewing experience is way better on the Galaxy S10 Plus because of that screen. You got that screen in combination with those great sounding stereo speakers, you're killing the game. I love watching content on this thing. Also, there's no notch, so I've recently switched over to doing content in 2:1 ratio, which means it's expanded and optimized for smartphones. So if you're watching me on your smartphone, which you more than likely are, you can see how wide my videos stretch. And if you have to stretch it, it's literally just to fill in a small portion of your screen, especially on the S10 Plus. It fills the screen in a full, robust manner. And just having only the laser cutout in that type of format is a Now, as far as the notch, if you stretch all the way out, you're gonna lose that side information, but there's usually not much over there. You're just cutting out one of these white edges, and it is what it is. All in all, what am I trying to say? No matter which one you get as far as the speaker and viewing experience, the viewing experience is slightly better on the S10 Plus due to that screen. Woo-hoo. So, in conclusion, this is part one because I need to live with the Galaxy S10 Plus a little bit longer, a lot bit longer, so that I can give you a more comprehensive versus. But coming right out the gate, I mean, you gotta look at it. Samsung, this is the latest device. This is their 2019 rendition. This is setting the bar for 2019 and it has set the bar. This is, right now is probably the best smartphone, all around smartphone package that you could get in 2019. But granted, with that being said, if you're an iOS ecosystem lover, this is the best phone that you can get. So if you are into Apple iPhones and you have an ecosystem going, I have one going myself, the XS Max is probably the better phone for you because that convenience within the ecosystem is worth keeping at all times, just period. So, but right now, this is the best smartphone on the market, but that's an early statement. I still have to see how this thing lives out over time. Now, it's still fresh, it's still new, so when I'm speaking, it's just off the fresh, new experience. So we gotta let this thing get some more files on and get bogged down and see how it performs. So I'm just saying that this is the best offering for 2019. This is the only offering and the main offering that we've gotten so far as flagship for 2019. In this versus, there is really no clear winner. The reality is if you're in the ecosystem and you're locked in and that's your preference, you might want to wait for the next iPhone to come out. But if you're curious about switching over and you're looking for the ideal phone to make a switch with, S10 Plus, hands down. Get this bad boy, you will notice a difference and you will enjoy it. The only thing is we have to see how this thing performs over time, which is why I'll come back with an update to this video and I'll give you a more extensive review. My name is CJ, this is CJ Knows Tech, where I love to talk tech and anything creative. You just watched part 1 of the Galaxy S10 Plus versus the XS Max. Let's come back. Oh yeah, watch that camera comparison. I ain't playing, you know what I'm saying? You better watch, man. Look, man, watch that camera. Man,